everybody, welcome back to Jeff Bull Central. We're checking out Gotham Knights for you today on the Xbox Series X. This game came out a couple months ago, but I was disinclined to play it at that time. I wanted to make sure it got a couple patches under its belt because it was remarked in the press as having been a little bit too glitchy to really play co-op properly. I'm a big Batman fan. I'm a big DC Comics fan, so that's not the issue for me. It was just wanting to make sure it was a little bit more together, a little less broken. And so 2 months later, here it is. Me and the old wife. I shouldn't call her the old wife. That's mistake number one. Me and the wifey played this together, and indeed it is just barely not glitchy enough for consumption for two-player co-op, which is a lot of fun, I have to say. I'm sure this game is kind of a bit of a bummer when you're playing by yourself, but when you've got a partner, it's a lot of fun. There is one thing about it that keeps getting mentioned again and again and again in all the material that I've dug through looking at this game, and that's its dissimilarity within its similarity to the Arkham games, right? So it's pretty clear just by looking at it, if you haven't played it yet, it's pretty clear that it's meant to play somewhat like the old Batman Arkham games, which, to this day, everybody agrees that those are probably some of the best superhero games ever made. Definitely based on like a major DC property. There was a reason for that. Those games, they were snappy, they were punchy. It had this great counter system that made Batman seem like he was otherworldly. He was supernatural because if you were good at it, you never really got tagged. And that's the thing that's missing from Gotham Knights. It does play a lot like those Arkham games. That is totally accurate. But I think that the developers actually wanted to veer away from it because when you first play this game, you're like, holy crap, this is like a really, really stilted version of Arkham Asylum, right? Or Arkham Knight, or Arkham City. It's stilted, it's stiff. Like, the punching is stiffer, the attacks are stiffer. The fact that you can walk through a room and get hung up on desks and chairs and scenery. The fact that your bat cycle is not nearly as responsive and springy as the Batmobile was on the Arkham games, right? Arkham Knight. So that's what it seems like at first. But then the more that you play it, the more that you kind of realize they were kind of going for their own thing. And that's the mistake they made. They started out by making it super similar to Arkham, and then they started to deviate from that and make it its own thing so that it feels weird. If you ever played the Arkham games, it does feel weird. And the main reason behind that, as far as I can see, it's not the move set per character, although it's not as deep. The moves set doesn't seem to me to be as deep as the Arkham games, so there's another thing. And it's not the upgrades that you can moderately improve your arsenal with. It's the fact that there's no counter button. That seems like a simple thing. There's no counter button. But again, that was the thing in the Arkham games that made Batman seem so supernatural, right? And so the opposite of that, or what we have in the absence of that, nature abhors a vacuum, we have a dodge button. And it is a very, very responsive, helpful dodge button, but you just seem like you're getting out of the way instead of participating in taking down a room of thugs. There's also not nearly the amount of stealth options that Arkham games had. So it feels like a Batman Arkham game, but incomplete. However, it's not quite that. They did try to deviate and do their own thing, and like I said, the multiplayer is just too much fun. The co op is good. It's glitchy here and there. We keep getting dropped, but I do recommend it. That's it for Batman. Sorry, Gotham Knights. To turn the page, this is my latest book, everybody. This is Resurrection Mixtape. I have it up on Amazon. I think you'll like it. It's about music and it's about humor and some romance, and there's horrific elements and kind of superhero-ish elements. It's a hodgepodge. It's a wonderful, wonderful melting pot of goodness. So go over to Amazon, get a copy, Kindle, paperback, whatever you got to do. Do it.